Shalom, shalom, shalom. Greetings and welcome back to another episode here at Israelite Talk TV, one of the number one platforms where that's right, where you don't get no paid media. Now, family, you guys see the title, you guys see the thumbnail. That's right. Today, we got to talk about one of the biggest snitches that's at large that has been let loose in the city of Memphis. Okay. And I don't think the people in Memphis really understand what's going on down there in the city of Memphis with this guy, Hernandez Govan. And I got to pull y'all coattail and turn y'all on to what's really going on down here in this Dolph case. Okay. You guys got to understand that Hernandez Govan is planning one of the biggest busts that is getting ready to go down in Memphis. Okay. And so I'm ringing the alarm. Now, some of you may say, well, Big Light, why are you ringing the alarm? Well, the reason why is because, see, my thing is whenever it comes down to snitching and people working with the police, my thing is this. When these people catch these cases, the court is not saying these people are not guilty because they did not, they wasn't involved. They're saying that these people are involved in this stuff. But if you give us somebody, we'll show you leniency. And I have a problem with that. Okay. There's people out here in the streets that's doing what they got to do to survive. And my thing is, why should we let a guy like Hernandez Govan, okay, as I'm getting ready to show y'all, which they treating this guy like he's a first time offender when he is a career criminal. Okay. So to those of you out there in the city of Memphis that call yourself street guys, whatever it is y'all doing in the street, y'all gonna want to hear this message that I'm getting ready to bust down today. Okay. Now, also, people were sending me the video saying, well, was he at Big J funeral? Because we heard the judge speak about the funeral. Well, I can about almost 99% confirm that Hernandez Govan was at Big Juk's funeral. And I'm going to show you that also in this video. I also have some breaking news, right? Because what I want you guys to understand, family, is that not only is there a war taking place in the city of Memphis over that young Dolph murder, there's also a war taking place within the judicial system down here in Memphis. And we got to put eyes on it because if not, y'all going to miss the play. Okay. I got to get on this DA, Paul Hagerman or whatever his name, Paulie. We're going to talk about Paulie and the stuff that they're doing down here to help y'all to understand what's going on. Now, remember when Stan G did an interview with Hernandez Govan, right? When he did that interview, he asked him a question. He said, what do you feel about people calling you a snitch, da, 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 da? And he went into some stuff about, well, people don't know me, this and that, woo, woo, woo. But I'm here today to tell you that this guy is an informant, and we have to understand this, right? Now, check this out right here. And I'm just going to prove it to you and show you, you know what I'm saying, what's going on here. Because people are like, well, is he? No, he's working with them people. And let me just help y'all understand this. Now, you see this article right here? See this article. Now, real quick, family, before we go into this thing, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure y'all share this video. People gonna want to hear this video today, okay? Because what we getting ready to do, we're getting ready to box Hernandez Govan in. We're not getting ready to allow this dude to play the 50. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna box him in today, and I'm gonna show y'all what this guy is doing down here in the city of Memphis. Now, check this out, right? This guy back in November 11, 22, right? They put out this article on Hernandez Govan when he was arrested. Now, check this out right here, family. Okay. They're telling us, okay, it says those same documents reveal a lengthy criminal background for Govan dating back to the early 90s. In January of 1990 and again in May of 2000, Govan was charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to manufacture, deliver, or sell, okay, a Class E felony. Govan was sentenced to 2 years behind bars for that arrest in 2000. Now, listen to this. In August of 2003, he was charged with being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun. Records show that he pled not guilty to those charges, and Fox 13 is working to learn if he was found guilty and sentenced for this charge or not. Okay. Now, people are saying that this guy been working with the police. So maybe this is why Fox is having a hard time finding out on whether this guy was, found guilty or not for this charge. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, he was a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, right? And then it says, but just a month later in 2003, Govan did plead guilty to being in possession of a controlled substance. Now, listen to this. 5 years later, in April of 2008, Govan pled guilty to aggravated assault and was sentenced to 3 years in prison, according to court documents, right? Most recently, Govan pled guilty to aggravated assault in May of 2021. Accused of beating up his former romantic partner. Okay, now check this out, fam, in regards to this partner that he beat up. So this guy, right, and this is the thing, right, that I want you guys to understand. They're saying that this guy was locked up during the time that young Dolph was killed, right? This is why they date his indictment back to June, because this is when he got sentenced in May, and then in June, this is when I guess he starts this 6 month or whatever the case may be stint for this battery. So not only is he a snitch, he likes to beat up on women, because see, one of the things that you guys got to understand here is that right here, they're telling us, right? Okay. According to a police affidavit, a female bartender told police that she and Govan got into an argument about how she was treating his girlfriend. The bartender accused Govan of hitting her, knocking her to the ground, and pulling her hair. The affidavit says the bartender was left with a black eye and a broken finger. So not only is this guy a snitch, but he likes to beat up on women. Okay? But at any rate, they're telling us that he was locked up during this time period, right? So you want us to believe that this guy has a criminal record that stretched from Memphis all the way out to California and back to Memphis, and he got a bond for $90,000. So now, if this is the law, why not give the guy that killed Black Youngster brother the same love? Give him a $90,000 bond. And I don't know if that was 10% or if he paid the straight 90, the straight 90,000. Okay, because he probably had to pay 10%, which would have been 9,000. So either way it go, they still show this guy some love, and they're showing all of this love to a career criminal. They want us to believe that this guy is a first-time offender. This nigga Jack is stretched all the way back into the 90s. He's a convicted felon. Look, been all in and out of the federal system and everything. And yet they still gave this guy a bond and released him back to the public like he's a model citizen. So my thing to the court system is that in Memphis is that if this is what's going on, then show everybody the same love that y'all giving Hernandez Govan. Show them the same love. There's no way that this dude should be out. Now, listen to this. Do you guys remember this right here? Check this out. Check this out right here, family. Now, listen to this. You guys remember this?
Investigators have learned more information in his case.
We've come into some information about Mr. Govan's role and medical conditions that make us think that this is the best resolution in order to get justice for the case.
So at the end of the day, the court cited safety and medical concerns as two.
So right here, family. So when they released him and gave him the bond, the judge is basically saying, the district attorney, right, is saying, well, the reason why we're giving the bond is for safety and health. What is safety? Remember, Judge Coffey was going off on Hernandez Govan about him taking these trips and all of this stuff, and he told him, right? And let's just put ears on that because I got that pulled up, right? Remember, he told him. Where I got you at, Cough? Oh, yeah, we going in today, fam. We ain't even playing. They got me out on the Sunday working, man. Y'all know I don't work on Sunday, man. Excuse me. But anyway, I get to that here in a moment. I'm gonna get Judge Coffey pulled up. But at any rate, remember Judge Coffey told him that Memphis is a very dangerous metropolitan area, and that there were people that were looking for him that possibly want to kill him. So what they're saying is that the safety is for his protection. So the question we got to ask ourselves is, why would they protect the mastermind, the guy that solicited in order to hit leadership? Why would they do that? It's because, as I told y'all, the fix is in. That DA said by letting this guy go is the only way to judge. Listen what he said. Let me back that up in case y'all didn't hear that. He said, we feel like, look how he's looking down.
Think that this is the best resolution.
Listen.
And medical conditions that make us think
what?
that this is the best resolution in order to get justice.
So family, so they're telling us, the DA is saying by releasing this guy to the streets is the only way. We feel this is the only way to justice. We have to let this guy out, meaning that he's working with the DA. How can releasing him to the streets be the best way to get justice on this case? It's because he's working. I don't care what anybody is talking about. The Negro is the police. Okay? Straight like that. Now, y'all can box it up and digest it however y'all want to digest it. I'm telling y'all what it is. And if he ain't a snitch, then tell him to prove it. Okay? So now, the guy is a snitch. Now, the thing that I want you guys to understand is that getting to this interview this back and forth with him and the judge Friday, what did the judge just help us to understand? That this dude put in a motion. He done snuck in another motion. Now, why would he try to put this motion in for this curfew? It's because Big Jook is dead. So now the dynamics are changing. Okay? Now, check this out right here. Okay? Because we ain't finna play around today, man. Now, right here, and I didn't even hear a lot of people talking about this, but check this out, family. This is an article, and this is pretty much what they were talking about, right? About the curfew. This is what he was back in court for, right? Now, this came out February 15th. Listen to what they're saying right here. Okay. The man prosecutors claim organized the murder of Memphis rapper young Dolph asked his new judge for curfew. Court filings on behalf of Hernandez Govan asked the judge to give him a curfew of 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now, let's just stop right there. Why would Hernandez Govan ask the judge to give him a curfew from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m.? It's because while y'all Negroes in the city of Memphis is sleeping, he wants to be riding around with the police pointing people out. See, when people were saying that Big Jook now are shutting down all their stores and all of this shit, it's because they know what's coming. They know that this dude is working with the police and he's riding around pointing people out. This is what y'all got to understand. Why would he want a curfew from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m.? Those are not business hours, Hernandez. Okay? Those are not business hours. Those are the hours that you are asleep, and while you sleep, he wants to ride around and help the police. Okay? And this is what's going on. 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew? Boy, hey, listen, I don't care if you CMG, PRE, whatever it is, whatever gang you claiming or whatever you got going on in the streets, you better shut it down. As long as this guy right here is in the city of Memphis and he's free, y'all better not be doing nothing because y'all on y'all way to jail. Family, think about this, right? If we believe the narrative that's been put forth, that the money came from Big Jook for this hit on Dolph, right? If Big Jook is dead, let's make it make sense. How can he get the Gotti or anybody else up the ladder because y'all gotta understand, if he's dealing with Big Jook, he can't go to Gotti and say, well, hey, woody woo, because Gotti be like, I'm not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So you guys gotta understand that this guy right here, he working with them people. Now listen to this, family. To the concerned citizens that told on him about this interview, y'all need tomorrow morning. This is what y'all need to go to Memphis to the courts because I'm on their ass, right? Now check this out right here, family. So now listen, he wants this curfew, right? We know what he wants the curfew for because he wants to work, right? He wants to ride through the city of Memphis while people asleep and point people out. This is the 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew that this guy wants, okay? Now check this out. It says this request is being made to allow the defendant Govan to seek gainful employment while out on bail. The document states defendant Govan would like to be employed so that he can support his wife and children. Now, family, what is the problem with this? Hey, Miss Jennifer Mitchell, I hope that you're watching Israelite Talk TV, and if she's not, y'all expedite send this to her. So you're telling me that the guy that has fired a slew of lawyers, he went and got Little Dirk attorney. This is not no cheap attorney. He has to travel from Atlanta back and forth to Memphis. So he has enough money to go get a top tier lawyer that defends celebrities, people like Lil Durk. But this nigga talking about he need a job to support his family. I would like to think whatever job he's going to get is still not going to amount to the money that he has to spend for this lawyer to come and defend him in Memphis. Hernandez. So my thing is, why do he need to go out here and work when he can afford top tier lawyers? Those lawyers ain't cheap. The lawyers ain't cheap. So if he can do all of this stuff listen, he can afford bond money. He's got the money to bond out on a $90,000 bond. He has the money to hire and fire lawyers. Then he has the money to go get one of the best lawyers in Atlanta. And now he's talking about he needs employment. Boy, Memphis, y'all better watch out. Memphis, listen what I'm telling y'all. Listen what I'm telling y'all. Y'all, whatever y'all got going on in the city of Memphis, y'all better shut it down and get out the way. If she grants this garbage right here on March the 1st, if she grants this motion right here, you know what time it is. See, what y'all got to understand is the dynamics is changing. Because think about it. If they're saying that Big Jook paid the money and Big Jook is dead, what the hell else? What can he possibly give them? What's left? You see what I'm saying? So you guys got to understand that this guy is working. And I'm finna turn y'all on to some more breaking news that's finna blow y'all mind. Now, let's get into the courts, okay? Because like I said, if they grant this garbage right here, this motion that this guy filed, Memphis is over with. Y'all better get up out of the way because he is going to point out every single thing that's moving. They're not shutting those shops down for nothing. See, what y'all got to understand is down in Memphis, in some of those places, they hustle out of those stores and shit. They do that. So this is nothing. See, y'all got to understand that the feds are involved in this, and they are the silent partner. See, they're chasing the money. Y'all got to remember that the police was not cool with Dolph before he died. They were chasing Dolph. They want those strongholds where that money is being made that they're not getting any taxes off of. Make no mistake. This thing is about money. Because think about it, family. They showed the video of the dude that got shot at the gas station and all this other stuff. How can they show this stuff, but then they would not show us the footage of young Dolph? Okay, they released the footage, THFTP being shot and gunned down in front of his children, but they would not show us. They won't even show us Dolph pulling up to this cookie shop, letting you know that there is more stuff involved in this case. Because when the stuff is not involved, they just go ahead and show you and give it to you. If they're not giving it to you, and why would they not give that to us so that the community and the people can help the police catch the people that's really involved? It's because they're involved. Straight like that. Okay? Now, let's keep it mobbing here. Now, check this out right here. And I'm going to say this before we move on. See, if this woman, Jennifer Mitchell, this is what we got to watch. This is the next move we got to watch. March 1st, I mean, right? If she grants this motion for this guy after Judge Coffey, now listen, I'm going to play what Judge Coffey told him the first time he violated his bond, okay? Listen what Judge Coffey said. Okay, boom. Boom. All right, let's go.
Area in the country. This case has generated a substantial amount of publicity. And if you're running around free in Shelby County, Mr. Govan, knock on wood, somebody might be trying to kill you, sir. So it is not in your best interest to just coffee.
Also, family, the other thing that I want you guys to understand, right? Because now we're getting ready to get into this court system. See, people were under the impression that Judge Coffey removed himself from the case. No, the appellate courts made him step down. Okay. He went back and forth with them with motions and stuff, but they are the ones that told him to stand down. Now, the thing about it that's so crazy is that he took straight drop phone privileges because the guy made a song speaking about the case. But yet this is the same guy that Jennifer Mitchell just granted a motion for an outside jury after he recorded this song from jail and spoke on the case and did all of this stuff. So why would they remove the judge off of the case when it's clear that this guy is speaking on this case and speaking on this trial and basically letting the people know what's going on in the case, but yet you want a new jury to see what they know when you're the one that's speaking on the case and releasing stuff. You know what I'm saying? But just listen to what Judge Coffey got to say, right? Because what I'm getting ready to show you, what I believe, and I'm almost 100% sure. See, the judges are not really in on the plays, these particular judges, because see, what y'all got to understand is that they just watch over the case and they rule on. See, the judge is pretty much going to go whatever what the district attorney says, because you got to remember when they go to the grand jury to get that warrant, it's on them to get that guilty verdict, or they have to pay for it. So whatever they say, the judge is pretty much going to go with it. But the judge is speaking on some of the stuff that they're doing. Now, I want you guys to listen to this, because what this guy's finna say right here and what I'm getting ready to drop on y'all is getting ready to blow y'all mind in regards to Hernandez Govan and all of these trips and stuff that this guy is taking. This is finna mess y'all up. Check this out.
Take away all these conditions and let me just do what I want to, go where I want to. And there have been some instances where you were allowed apparently to take a couple of trips. That can't happen anymore because of the conditions of his bond that this court set his bond, and you can't deviate from those conditions unless this court tells you to do so. I'm told by Ms. Taylor that she's having some difficulties in supervising his bond because you had a couple of trips that were approved that was not approved by the court, were not discussed with the court, were not discussed with Mr. Hernandez Govan, and that's a violation.
Now, family, okay, I want you guys to listen to what he's saying. He says, it's being reported to me, okay, that you're taking trips, right? Now, I want y'all to just follow this shit finna blow y'all mind, family. I mean, listen to this guy, right? So listen what he's getting ready to tell Hernandez.
Of your bond, Mr. Govan. So I don't know who gave you permission.
I don't know who gave you.
Take those trips to leave Shelby County, but unless you hear from Judge Coffey, don't say anything else. Unless you hear from Judge Coffey and Hernandez Govan, your attorney of record here, Mr. Rohr is probably not going to be in on most of these settings. But unless you're in court on the record with Mr. Durham in this court and Ms. Taylor and asking the court for some relief and say, Judge, I need to do certain things.
Fair use.
Approve it. It cannot be done unless it is approved by this court, Mr. Govan.
Okay, listen.
You understand that, sir? Yes, sir. And please, please, please stop asking Ms. Taylor, probation management group, if they can relax these restrictions or if they can do certain things or let you go shopping or let you get a job, because she doesn't have authority to do that. Ms. Taylor will do what the court ordered when I've entered the bond conditions on this case and place those conditions under seal. Those are not negotiable. You're not.
Now listen, he said he placed it under what?
The court ordered when I've entered the bond conditions on this case and placed those conditions under seal. Those are not negotiable. You're not open to discussion. You're not open to change unless Mr. Durham files a written petition. In court.
Listen, family, listen.
I'm asking that you modify some of these bond conditions. Unless Mr. Durham asks for Mr. Go back and talk to Mr. Durham and say, will you please address Judge Coffey about doing certain things? He'll do so. But I think what Mr. Durham will tell you is that Mr. Govan, you should be
listen.
Your own bond. The only other resolution for Judge Coffey is to put you back in jail pending disposition of these charges. Your lawyers have worked, yeoman's have done a great job and getting you released on bond until these cases are settled. But I do not intend, and I want you to hear me clearly.
Listen.
I do not intend, unless there's a substantial change, I do not intend to change the conditions of this bond and say, look, I thought about this, but I'm going to relax this. So unless there's some earthquake change, something.
Stop right there, family. So right here, we just heard from Judge Coffey. He said, when I worked these deals and I did this and put this under seal and I put the terms on this. So what he's saying is that this guy is not to leave his house. He's on house arrest. He's supposed to be in the house. And the only time he should be leaving is for court or for lawyer visits, as he said. Why is he saying that? Because you're working with the police. You're technically still in jail. This is why he said, I put it under seal. You're out on this bond to do what you're supposed to be doing, not going to get jobs and do all of this stuff, is what he's saying in so many words. But family, listen to this right here. This is getting ready to blow y'all mind. Now, check this out right here. Check this out right here. Now, this right here is something that, this is when Hernandez Govan and Jamarcus Johnson went to court. This was back in December 14th, right? Listen to what this woman getting ready to let fly out of her mouth, Judge Jennifer Mitchell. Listen closely. Listen.
Sentenced pending the trial date of his co-defendants.
Their disposition is tied to trial defendants. So what we have been doing is resetting them about on 45-day increments and continuing their supervision.
In court, the judge made an addition to Govan's supervision requirements.
Does Mr. Govan do drug screening? I know he's not supervised by pretrial.
Whoa, family. Whoa. Did you hear that right there? I don't think, let me bag that up for you. She's asking Paul, the district attorney, that's basically supervising this case. She asked him, is this nigga taking drug screening? Because we're not supervising him. So who the hell is supervising Hernandez Govan? Y'all telling me that he's out on pretrial. The court is not supervising him. She's asking the DA, what's going on? Who the hell is watching this nigga? Family, man, this is crazy. This is why Judge Coffey told him originally, I don't know who is giving you permission to go on this. But unless, because see, what y'all got to understand is that, see, the probation department, they're tracking him on his monitor. They know that he's leaving. But listen what he's saying. Listen what this prosecutor guy is getting ready to say. This blew my mind when I heard this. Listen to this. Listen to what she asked him. Listen.
Requirements.
Does Mr. Govan do drug screening? I know he's not supervised by pretrial.
He's not
I know pretrial does screens.
He does not. He's under basically home arrest.
Yeah.
Along with house
He's
arrest.
just out on basic home arrest. And this is the guy, Paul, that's going to be fighting on behalf of Dolph. Listen, no restrictions, no nothing. My thing to Paul, we're going to get to Paul here in a minute, right? But the fact of the matter, family, the judge has just told y'all live on TV in court, we are not supervising this nigga Hernandez Govan. Who the hell is supervising him? You're telling me with a high profile case like this, he's just free to roam the city of Memphis and nobody, who's watching him? Oh my goodness, family. This is why I had to go live. Fam, what is going on down here? Man, listen, to all y'all down there in the city of Memphis, y'all better just go and get out the way. And if you ain't from the city of Memphis and you get money, you better shut it down to this guy right here is back in jail. Because I can guarantee you, somebody told on this guy. Because he was locked up, so they say, during the time when young Dolph got killed. Now, make sure y'all hear tomorrow, because we're going to dive deep into that tomorrow. But the fact of the matter is, who the hell is watching this dude? The DA like, well, nah, he's not really on that. He's just, so y'all are allowing this guy to be free on the streets with all this loose and easy house arrest stuff? Family, man, this stuff is crazy, man. It's crazy. Did y'all hear? Man, let me just bag that up, man. She said what? She asked the DA.
The judge made an addition to Govan's supervision requirements.
Does Mr. Govan do drug
Look how she's looking at him.
I know he's not supervised by pretrial. And I know pretrial does screens.
See, pretrial would do the screens and do all of this, but he's not being supervised by pretrial. So who the hell is watching Hernandez Govan? This dude is at large, out on bond, like he just stole a car or something. He just, and he's free to roam after this guy has not only is he a career criminal, but the man is charged with killing superstar young Dolph. You orchestrated this stuff, and the court is not supervising him. This is why when Judge Coffey told him, I don't know who told you to go do that, but you can't do that unless it go through the court. So this means that they're moving around the court. And who has enough power to play around and do what they're doing? None other than Big Brother, FBI, feds. Okay? And listen, family, let me ask you this. You're telling me, Paul, and we're getting ready to segue into Paul right now. You're telling me that Paul, that this guy has violated the bond conditions several times. Since he's been out of jail, he's been breaking these bond conditions. Not one time has the DA filed to have his bond revoked. And the latest, you're going to funerals, you out doing all of this stuff, you're doing interviews. And even his lawyer said that it was stupid that he shouldn't have been doing that. You know what I'm saying? As I told y'all, and a lot of other bloggers that told y'all the same thing. His own attorney said he shouldn't have been out doing that. So why has not the district attorney on none of these things filed for to revoke his bond? Now, mind you, if that was you, that was in his predicament, they would have had your ass back in jail already. Why won't they lock Hernandez Govan back up? See, and we have to address this, because how can we take the courts of Memphis serious? If you say you are a court of justice, then how is it that this dude, like I said, he's a career criminal. He has a slew of stuff on his background. If you go into the court with the same thing, they're not going to show you the same love that they're showing Hernandez Govan. And we need to address this. Why won't the DA file nothing? The DA has not filed nothing. This guy got right on here and lied. Now listen to this, fam. This dude got right on here and lied and said that this guy Hernandez Govan did an interview and did not talk about the case. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey, Paul, I need you to, Paul, since you're watching videos, you said you watched that video. Y'all send this video to Paul because I'm on Pauline ass, right? And this is why you never trust a person that's called Paul, because this is the type of stuff that they do. You see what I'm saying? Now listen to this guy right here.
I get a message from a concerned citizen that you're out doing interviews. Whether you're talking about this case or not, you're doing interviews. And the court doesn't like the fact that you feel free enough to do interviews.
Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. This one right here. This is the one I'm looking for right here. Okay, boom.
G learned a 28-minute interview with Govan was posted on YouTube days prior. Prosecutor Paul Hagerman says he has reviewed.
Listen to this dude live.
They talked about rap music and various rappers, and they talked some about Mr. Govan's daughter that's deceased now.
Govan's attorney, Manny Aurora, admits the recording should not have happened.
It wasn't the smartest thing to talk from house arrest, on a YouTube video, but it wasn't anything about the case.
The court doesn't like the
Well, let's stop right there. Manny and Paul, they claim that nothing was spoke about the case, right? That's a lie. There was a whole lot of stuff that was spoke on concerning the case, Paul. Now, I know that I haven't been to law school. I don't have a law degree, right? But logical sense tells me when Stan G one of the toughest questions that he put to Hernandez Govan, he asked him, what is your relationship to CMG? He said, I can't speak on it. You know, I got an open case. Now, let's stop right there. Because with him saying that, he implemented CMG into this case. See, what y'all got to remember that the DA told us they will not be releasing and telling us what the motive is in the killing of young Dolph. Okay? Basically saying we're going to learn all this stuff when trial go down. And why won't they tell us what it is? Because it's, as we already been saying, CMG is involved in this stuff, right? So they're not going to come out and say it because it's going to confirm what we're saying, right? So when he asked him about CMG, what you guys got to remember, Memphis, the DA and what everything that they have put out, they have never implemented CMG. They have not said nothing about CMG. See, the bloggers are the ones that have said CMG. So if CMG is not involved, when he did that interview, he should have spoke on CMG. How can he not speak on CMG if they not involved in the case? So obviously they're involved in the case, and the city of Memphis never said that CMG was involved in the case. So he spoke about Raven, which we know Raven is involved in that case because she works at that cookie shop, Paul. So my thing is that he did speak about that case. And so by him acknowledging, oh, I don't know the cookie lady, this and that, what it's telling us is that they're involved in the case. So if he's comfortable to speak on them and say, well, I don't know them, this and that, why would he not do the same thing for CMG? So y'all got to remember, there's a photo of Hernandez Govan and Big Jook that's out. See, he knows this. The courts knows this. So whether he was on the interview with Stan G or he's in the courtroom going to trial, that picture still exists. He still has to acknowledge that he knows CMG. So what his stupid ass should have just did was he should have just said, yeah, I know Black Youngster, Big Jook, woo, woo, woo. I'm from Memphis. We all know them. You know what I'm saying? They're a record label, da-da-da. But they're not involved in this case. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, the blogs have said this is what his stupid ass should have said. Now I can't speak on it. Because now by saying that, you're saying that CMG is involved. Because if they wasn't involved, he could have spoke on it. So he implemented CMG. CMG is involved in that case. Paul. So do you want to try that again and run that back past us again? He didn't speak about, he did. He was asked about Raven. He said, you don't know any Raven. So why would you sit here and act like, and this is the guy, now think about this, family. This is the guy that's supposed to be prosecuting one of the biggest cases ever in Memphis. This guy right here, man, this Paul. Paul, let's get Paul back up there, Paul. And you got and this is what I be saying about these lawyers. They got the degrees, they got all of this shit. But Paul is going to sit in front of the news and lie and say that this guy
taught some about rap music, and it's about
look at his cadence, look at his demeanor. I would never trust a person like this, man. You can't trust people like this that will get in front of the public and just lie. And he's supposed to be prosecuting the case.
Rap music and various rappers, and they taught some about Mr. Govan's daughter.
Well, what about Raven? Didn't he talk about Raven in that case, Mr. Paul? And this is the same shop where young Dolph got killed at. But yet the judge will go ahead and approve a motion for straight drop to get this outside jury when they're doing interviews, as I told you. So why not lock him up? Ain't that what Judge Coffey said? He said the only thing left for me to do is just revoke the bond. He said I'm not lessening up the restrictions on this bond. Basically letting you know, like, nigga, you working. Your job is to get the people we need, and then you know what I'm saying? And then that's it. This is your mission. You trying to go get jobs and do all of this stuff. Don't even worry about that. That's not even, you know what I'm saying? That's not even part of the deal. But this guy right here sat right here and lied and said that Hernandez Govan didn't speak nothing about that case when he clearly implemented CMG. Because if CMG ain't guilty, ain't got nothing to do with it, he should have freely spoke on him. See, trying to clear your daughter's name, but your daughter is involved because she performed at Gotti Bass 8. So she knows Gotti, and you know that she knows Gotti, and you know Gotti. Okay? So this guy right here is clearly working with the police. These people are in on it. This guy right here, Paul, not one, to the concerned citizens tomorrow morning. Y'all go down there and y'all ask the DA office and the judge why the DA will not revoke this dude bond when he has violated this bond since he's been out of jail. Okay? He's been violated since he's been out of jail. And this guy right here would not file a motion to revoke that bond for some reason. Now, remember, the head DA said that this is the only path to justice. So what happens? Now, let me ask you this, family. We know that Hernandez Govan cannot deliver on what he told the police that he was going to deliver on. So if he can't deliver and Big Juke is gone and they're saying this is where the money came from, how can the DA say that by releasing him, this is the best way to justice? Basically saying that if he don't complete the mission, there won't be no justice. It's not going to happen, family. And we got to hold their feet to the fire. Now, listen to this, family. I ain't done. We cooking today. This getting ready to blow y'all mind right here, family. When I saw this, I said, what in the world is going on? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now, check this out, family. Okay. And this right here is getting ready to tell the tale. Here's an article that was put out. Okay. It was put out on ABC 24, right? ABC 24. Okay. And it was put out November 1st, 2023, last year. And it says, Judge Lee Coffey ordered to step down from trial for murder of young Dolph. Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to is that right here, okay, it says the Shelby County Criminal Court judge overseeing the young Dolph murder case against 4 men was ordered to remove himself from the case last week. Now, the new judge for the one defendant, Hernandez Govan, has been announced. The Tennessee Courts of Criminal Appeals overturned a denial for a motion to recuse Judge Lee Coffey from the murder case against Justin Johnson, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and Jamarcus Johnson. Okay. So this means that this motion was filed after Hernandez Govan and Jamarcus Johnson was arrested, because you guys got to understand that they had not been charged yet, right? So what I'm showing you guys is that the appellate court, the criminal courts overturned it, and somebody, so the point that I'm trying to make here is what I'm getting ready to show y'all is that the people that's involved in this Dolph case, they have some juice. If the appellate court overturned this motion, then that lets you know that these people are in on the play, because you got to remember, the reason why he took his phone privileges was because he released that song and he was speaking on the case. This is why he did that. Okay, this is a high profile case. So the courts will go on to overturn this. Now, family, this is what I want you guys to pay attention to. See, this is November 1st, right? Now check this out right here. When I saw this right here, and I want you guys to put eyes on this, it says Coffey set Johnson's and Smith's trial date for March 11th, 2024, with a deadline of December 1st, 2023. Listen to this: for their legal teams to present any new evidence or to agree to any plea deals before the trial. See, this is why Judge Coffey got removed for the case. See, what you guys got to understand is, and let's follow the timeline. So Judge Coffey had the court date, the trial date for Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith set for March, right? Which they just moved, right? And this is the reason why. See, Judge Coffey says all of this evidence needs to be turned in by December 1st. What does that mean? He said what? In any new evidence or any plea deals. So meaning that by December 1st of last year, if they would have never removed Judge Coffey, they would have had to announce new arrests in the Dolph case. Because remember, Hernandez Govan is out working with the police. So like I told y'all, when Big Juke said they don't want to face you, they want to snake you, he already knew what was going on. So the thing about it is so by December 1st, that means that Hernandez Govan would have had to score. Now, remember, he's been out since May, almost 6 months. So he didn't deliver within those 6-7 months or whatever the case may be to the courts. And so this is why they removed Judge Coffey, and this is why they have changed the court dates, because they're not ready to go to trial. If Hernandez Govan is not the mastermind, remember the DA said we've come into new information about his role and the role that he played, basically saying that he played a minute role. There's somebody else. Why ain't they locked up yet? So by the 1st of December, they would have had to show that, and also any plea deals that was worked out. So this tells you that they're not ready to go to trial. So once they remove Judge Coffey off of the case, all of this stuff is out the window now. And this is why they're continuing to move the goalposts. Well, no, we're going to grant this motion, and because the DA needs time in order to bust the people that they need to bust, that he said that he was going to give to them. But now it's getting even harder, because what wasn't apparent last year in May when he was released is even more apparent now. What people are really going to mess with Hernandez Govan while he's out of jail? Okay. Now, I'm going to say this and we wrapping this up. People asked about the funeral of Big Jook, right? I'm going to say this. I believe 99% that he was at that funeral. Now, why do I believe he was at the funeral? This is why. Because, see, if you look right here, check this out. Check this out right here. Now, listen to this. This is a video that was put out on January 29th is when they went to court, Hernandez Govan and Jamarcus Johnson. Now, listen to the judge right here.
The 27-year-old was soon walking out, still free on bond. Next up was the man prosecutors say was the mastermind behind the deadly shooting, Hernandez Govan, who stood just behind his attorney, Hernandez Durham Jr. Govan's attorney previously said there were no plans to seek a resolution until after Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith, the two accused of firing the deadly shots, go to trial in March. A trial, Jamarcus Johnson and Govan have been ordered to attend as co-defendants.
Now, let's just stop right there, family. What do we notice here? So, their court date was set for January 29th, as we see right here, right? When this was released. Now, Big Jook funeral was like the 30th or the 31st, right after this court date. And remember, she said you filed this motion, and before I can review this motion, this is what you got going on, meaning that it was after the 29th that he went to this funeral. So now the question we got to ask ourselves is, what funeral is that important where this guy is out on bond? He's going to violate his bond conditions to go to. It would have to be Big Jook. Okay. So I believe when people say he was there, that he was there. He was at that funeral. Because if he was at the funeral before the 29th, before he went to trial, she would have said something in that court date. She didn't say nothing. And this is the first court date when he went back to the whatchamacallit, when he went to court Friday for this hearing, for this motion to lessen up. So at the end of the day, fam, the people is involved in this stuff. The courts is involved in this stuff. The DA, for some reason, would not revoke this guy's bond out of all of the stuff he keeps violating. But the reason they're not, because what did he tell you? This is the only way to justice is by letting this guy out. So if Big Jook is dead, what else could he possibly give them? And how could he possibly catch anybody else after everybody know that this guy is working with the police, that he's not supposed to be out of jail? It makes no sense. So at the end of the day, fam, this is just what it is, man. Okay. Man, let me get into this comment section. Shout out to everybody that's checking in. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. You know what I'm saying? Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all checking in from, man. Oh, yeah, Govan is definitely an informant. Well, Kiva says, I'm thinking he wants to be in jail. He's scared. Well, I think so. This is why we got to watch what happens March 1st. See, if the judge grants this motion for him, then there's nothing else to talk about. The guy's working with those people. You want a curfew from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m.? Memphis. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So he wants to ride around with the police while everybody is asleep. Wow. And then the other thing is that, and we're watching Judge Jennifer Mitchell. We're watching you, Jen. We're watching you. We got eyes on you. This guy bonded out of jail for $90,000. He's fired lawyers in Memphis. He's went to Atlanta and went and got this high-priced lawyer. But yet he wants to go get a job to support his family. I don't see the money that you're paying, the money that you're going to make from whatever job you're getting ready to get is not going to equal to the money that this guy is spending on his lawyer for that little dirt in him had. This guy's flying back and forth from Memphis to court. You know what I'm saying? He has to really work because he has to study the law of Memphis because different laws are different. That's not cheap. On a murder, listen, this guy got murder, attempted murder, conspiracy. He got a slew of charges. It's going to be, listen, family, check this out too, right? The prosecutor claimed that this guy didn't speak on nothing on the case, right? Well, check this out. This guy is being charged with, listen, the guy's being charged as being the ringleader of the young Dolph murder. They saying he's the one solicited the murder. He's the mastermind. Now, check this out. He did this interview with Stan G, right? And he spoke about the beef between T.I. and Little Flip. And he basically told the people that he was the muscle for Little Flip. So he's letting us know this is what I do. I do murder for hire. You know what I'm saying? I do this. Because remember, he broke down how he was stepping with Flip. He had this and that, and he met Scarface and they talked. He's letting us know that this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm the muscle. This is what I do. The same thing that y'all are alleging and charging me with, I did the same thing with Flip when him and T.I. was into it. I was the muscle for him then. Come on, Paul. But y'all got the degrees and stuff like that, right? Okay, Paul. Michelle says, I have a feeling she's going to grant it because the handlers are telling her. And this is the thing, and this is why I say this is why we got to watch this case, because it sounds like she was basically saying like, you filed this motion I'm trying to do, and you basically like, I'm looking at it, I'm trying to grant the motion for you, but before I can grant it, you doing this and that. So my question is Hernandez Govan now just trying to throw the case because he know he can't deliver on, you know what I'm saying? And then the other thing too, family, he also confirmed that he knew Straight Drop, and he also confirmed that CEO Teasy was also involved in the Dolph case. Because remember, if he could speak on Raven and say he don't know Raven and all this other stuff, then when Stan G asked him about Straight Drop and CEO Teasy, he never said, well, I don't know CEO Teasy. I don't even know who that is. If I seen CEO Teasy today, I don't know who that is. He just, I can't speak on it. Meaning that we know Straight Drop is involved, but you also involved CEO Teasy and said he's involved. Because if you can't speak on your relationship with CEO Teasy, that means he's involved. Duh. Shout out to VA checking in, man. Right. If he won't sit down, like Tianse says, sit him back down in jail. All this, listen, what is up with all this bluffing? You know, you could be a judge. It's the same thing Judge Lee Coffey said. Jenny, you gonna mimic, you gonna repeat the same thing. At what point is the action coming? Because this guy is making the courts of Memphis look goofy right now. All these guys that's locked up that have lesser charges than what this guy is charged with should be free on bond right now. If you're gonna let this guy go, career criminal, FBI, Hernandez Govan, if you're gonna let this guy go, let everybody else go. Show them the same love. Yeah. Kivia, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. Govan acting like Mr. Nice Guy. He's vicious, right? 6 months. Listen, family, not even a year ago, he beat a woman up he beat up a bartender, I'm guessing at the bar. You beat up a woman, blacked her eyes, broke her finger, and this is the guy that they released to the public. He's that good of a guy where we're gonna let him go. Beat up a bartender. Listen, beat up a woman bartender. Blacked her eye, broke her finger, and he's free to roam the city of Memphis. Wow. Come on, Jenny. We watching you. We watching you, Jenny. Coach Mike says Govan done for making a video. Govan had money. They paid him most of it. He dry now. See, now listen. I'm glad you said that. See, remember when we was talking about the Big Jook thing, right? Remember that Straight Drop, when he was locked up, he released that song, No Statements, from jail. He released that from jail. He spoke about that money that his homeboy stole from him. Remember, he said they stole some money from him. So the money came through somebody's hands, somebody clipped him. Okay. Now, is that the reason that COTZ out of here? Who knows? But we know that they was looking for COTZ and he never made it down there to question him. I'm almost under the impression that it was COTZ and Straight Drop that jumped out that car that's in that picture that they're trying to say is Cornelius Smith. Okay. But more on that to come. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I don't see how can she grant this when this man went and got the lawyer that he has. I can understand if this nigga was hurting. Hey, I ain't got this and that. And even then I can't understand it. But at least you got some type of leg to stand on. You went and got Little Dirk's attorney. And when Stan asked him, is anybody helping you pay for that lawyer? He said, no, I'm paying for it. Meaning that he has the money. He has the money. This nigga don't need no damn job. If he can burn out and he is paying for the lawyer by himself, he should have just said, yeah, somebody is helping me pay for the lawyer. This dude, see, and then he tried to clear his daughter's name, and I double right back around and put her name right back in it because she is involved. She is performing at Gotti Bash 8 as I showed y'all with Little Uzi Vert. But he don't know Gotti and none of this other stuff, and they're not involved. Oh, they're involved. Coach Mike says, if I did the same thing, they would have revoked my bond. That's why you know he gave info. Yeah, he did. He did. He gave them Jamarcus Johnson. Jamarcus Johnson, no, I ain't lying either. How did they get Jamarcus Johnson? He's the last one to get caught. He got caught a week after they caught Hernandez Govan, meaning that he gave them Jamarcus Johnson. Remember, you got to give them something to get out of jail. They're not just going to say, well, okay, Mr. Hernandez Govan, we believe what you're saying. The information you give it got to check out. So he threw them a bone to get out. This is what he did. And it's funny that since he's been out, COTZ is gone, and so is Big Jook. Right, like Coach Mike says, Kevin, the job is interviewing. He can't get a job nowhere. They run background checks. Exactly. Shout out Coach Mike. Israelite on it. Most bloggers cap, man. I'm getting it to you. I'm getting it to you, man. Straight like that. I don't care what nobody talking about. This dude is the police and the people in the city of Memphis. Whoa. Whoa. This guy's just loose. Hey, the courts ain't even supervising this guy. Jennifer said, is he family? She's asking the DA. The DA like, no. He's just on regular house arrest. What? Oh, my goodness. She's asking the DA who's supervisor. She said, is he doing drug tests? Because pretrial typically does this, but he's not being supervised by pretrial. What the hell is the DA doing down here in Memphis? The fuck? And he's asking Judge Coffee, I need a curfew from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. Now, y'all better keep eyes on that, Memphis. Okay? Does he even have a ankle monitor? I mean, that detects if he's in the house. Well, the thing y'all got to understand about the home monitor thing, that's nothing. I know people that's on that monitor beat it all the time. They be out when they supposed to be at the crib. That ain't hard to do. Remember, you heard what Judge Coffee said. They're having a hard time supervising because he's moving around too much. So they know he's moving. Memphis, man, y'all got to come on with it now. Man, what's up? Hell yeah, the police, man. Hey, and Hernandez, I ain't gonna let you set nobody else up and work your way out. Not on my watch. So make sure y'all pass this around Memphis and y'all share the word. I don't respect that. I don't respect that. I respect real civilians, family. Let me explain something to you guys, right? A civilian is a person that follows the law, not this stuff where they're moving the goalposts for their best friends and say, well, this is not, you know what I'm saying? I remember years ago, and I just want to give y'all an example. Years ago in my teens, right? Me, three of my partners, we was on the move, right? We had a stolen Chevy. This is back in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? We got a stolen Chevy. We got a stick in there. We ride, we looking for somebody, right? Don't find the person the night before. The next day, right? It's hot. You know, the police looking for the cars, wooty wooty woo. Well, one of my partners like, okay, I'm finna go to the crib, and we knew we shouldn't have got back into that car because you know what I'm saying, but whatever, the police get on us, right? Anyway, they chase us. We in a high speed chase, right? So we go down like this gangway, we jump out, wooty wooty woo, right? So anyway, I'm hiding in this lady bushes, right? And the lady came out the house and said, "Hey, officer, here he go right here." That's a civilian. This is a person that follows the law. I'm not mad at this woman. You know what I'm saying? These are people that follow the law. These are civilians. You cannot go out here and commit crime and then turn around and go set people up and get out of jail and then, oh, well, I'm a civilian. No, you a piece of shit is what you are. You're telling on other people just to save your ass. You got to know and understand. If y'all don't get anything out of this video, to the people that want to be in the streets, this is part of the game. When you in the streets and you committing crime, people can tell on you. If people see you committing crime, you got to know they're going to tell on you. So no one understand this. If you choose to play the game, then play the game. This shit that this dude is doing, I ain't going for it, man. And I'm calling it out. You know what I'm saying? You sitting down here, what is he doing free? If Big Jook is dead, what the hell else could he be possibly directing the police to? Oh, he want this curfew because now the dynamics change because Big Jook is gone. So now what you got to do is you got to go and point all this shit out. So this is why when you hear him saying, well, Gotti and them shutting down all of this stuff, this is why. They know them fair boys is in town, man. Now listen to this. Coach Mike, this is what I'm saying. Govan working with them, he talks to the feds daily. That's why he said he's getting a lot of calls. Now, mind you, this nigga left court. So now the thing we got to remember, he said his lawyer told him to leave. So now, is this the ploy that they're using to set him up where they can lock him back up? Because why would the lawyer tell him to leave when the lawyer know that he need to be there? And the judge is not siding with the lawyers. He's like, I don't care what the judge what they saying. That ain't that. He said Gotti's name is all on the paperwork. Exactly. Listen, family. Paul Hageman, assistant DA. Y'all send this to him because he's watching videos on this Dolph case. How is it that this guy sat on the? Y'all never said that CMG is involved in the death of young Dolph. Y'all never said that he's involved. So for him to say that he can't speak on CMG, this is implementing saying that CMG is involved in it. It don't take rocket science to figure this stuff out. He involved CMG into this stuff, man, straight like that. See, this is why they say you always plead the fifth. You never talk. Even his lawyer said, probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. Like, damn, nigga, we trying to, you know you locked up for killing young Dolph, right? And I'm telling you, Hernandez Govan is at a point in his life. He's a career criminal. Remember, since the 90s. This right here is going to put him under there. He's going to see everything he knows he's going to tell. Anybody that's even cool with this guy, I wouldn't have any dealings with him. You know what I'm saying? Because when people are trying to get out of jail and get that time off of them, they will get whoever. Gotti and them know this. And listen, this guy went to this funeral, man, because That court date on the 29th, when he went to court, the judge didn't scold him for going to any funerals. He went after that, and Big Juke funeral was either the 30th or the 31st of January after that court date. And remind you, he's going back on this motion, and the judge is reprimanding him for the stuff that he's doing. I mean, like, family, come on now. Make it make sense, Jenny. Oh, hey, listen, Doretha. She says, wow, he's supposed to be the mastermind. They think we are stupid. Yeah, wait till tomorrow. We're gonna is he really the mastermind? Y'all be here in the morning. I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna make it make sense. You know, this young Dolph, this hit on young Dolph, it was, man, family. Wait till tomorrow. Wait till the breaking news. I'm gonna show y'all that there's no way that this guy right here is the mastermind. There's no way. Okay. There's no way. Now he's guilty of probably soliciting and straight dropping, but he's not the mastermind. That's tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all here at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going down, man. I ain't playing. Sonia, who he says the plan was for all of them to get off. Exactly. Because listen, family, if they lock Hernandez Govan back up because he can't deliver, then they got to go to trial and then they got to say he's the mastermind. Listen, tomorrow we're going to talk about this. And I'm finna show y'all exactly what's going on. Like, y'all, it's, man, this is crazy, man. Like Sonya says, Paul is in on it. All of them. This is why when you heard Mia J says, I want them to do their due diligence. All this deal making that y'all working behind the scenes, just let you know. And think about this, family. If CMG is not involved in it, why would the prosecutor tell us? Well, I'm not going to tell you what the motive is. Why not tell us what the motive is? Because they know that it leads back to CMG, man. It's just simple as that, man. But family, and then once again, Coach Mike, he right on it. Raven, he lied and said he didn't know her. The same with Priest. So how can this guy say he don't know PRE, Dolph, and all this other stuff? But the courts, the DA is alleging that this guy's the mastermind that solicited the hit for young Dolph. But yeah, he's saying he don't know any PRE. So who's lying? The DA or this guy right here? Family, this is crazy. And I'm with Kevia on that. I do believe that. Feds is protecting him. Now, before we close this up, as always, everything that I have said in this video is allegedly and is for entertainment purposes. I don't know any of this stuff to be true. It's just entertainment is what this is. Okay. Tiance says Govan is seen hanging out with Big Juke at TZ birthday party and has been on different pictures with Juke. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Going to talk about that tomorrow. Now, Kiva says a Rico is coming for Gotti. Well, what I'm curious about is why haven't the Rico came already? They already say that they already saying that this guy is the mastermind, that he is the one. Jamarcus Johnson has already pled guilty and said that money and stuff was being transferred through straight drop from to Cornelius Smith. So that means that if this guy has already pled guilty, he's saying this is what happened, then how is the feds not pick this up? Or is they just doing all of this stuff, and when they get to the point where Hernandez Govan cannot deliver and give them what they need, are they going to turn it over to the feds? It's clearly federal. Yeah, Pauline, a piece of work, man. Man. Fair says Govan is a federal informant. Yeah, he is. It's not even to be. It's not even up for debate, man. Yeah, Paul needs to go back to law school. All you people that's down in the city of Memphis tomorrow morning, make sure y'all go holler at the judge and holler at, and ask Paul. How y'all supposed to be serving justice, but why won't y'all lock this guy back up? But we know they're not gonna lock him back up because what did the district attorney say? We feel like the only way to solving this case is by letting him go. So this is why they're not gonna lock him back up. So like she said, he is playing with the court. You know what I'm saying? He even said he was at Bovan's funeral. I don't think so, because he would have got reprimanded if he was at Bovan's funeral when he went to court on the 29th. Because remember, his court, I believe his death was on New Year's or something like that. Michelle says, do you think that Gotti would allow him there? He didn't do background checks. Well, as close as he is to the fact, I don't think he need that. That could explain also why there was so much of a heavy police presence there. Because whenever you got somebody like that's there, you're gonna have that police present, man. So anyway, family, man, y'all dropped them Dolphs in there. Checking in from Oakland, man. Shout out Oakland. Yeah. So, man, y'all going crazy, man. So, family, the thing that we have to do is we have to keep eyes on March 1st to see what Judge Jennifer does in this case. Is she going to grant this motion to Hernandez Govan? Because once again, if he has the money to buy and fire these lawyers and pay for this lawyer to come back and forth from Atlanta to defend him, what do we need a job for? And remember, Judge Lee Coffey said he was not slacking on any of those things because he know that he's an informant. You see what I'm saying? And like songs by Alicia said, this is a huge disrespect and slap in the face to the family of Dolph. Memphis is more corrupt than Los Angeles, man. I'm telling you. That's the same city where they killed Martin Luther King at, man. So you know. They lie, they get fall guys. They get busy down there in Memphis, man, and it's crazy, man. Because it's a predominantly black, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Yep, 414, you right. He's the snake that Jip was talking about, exactly. Exactly. They moved Judge Coffey out the way and put the sister in there to be the pawn. She gonna have to bow down and get moved out of the way. And she know it too. Did you see how she was addressing him? How she was looking at the paperwork? She letting them know, like, you know that you playing games. You know what I'm saying? But like I told y'all, they removed Judge Coffey because by December 1st, they had to have in any type of plea bargains. Okay. Any type of, let's just put eyes back on that, right? for the people that may just be showing up late to this. Judge Coffey, Judge Coffey told Mr. Hernandez Govan that where is that article at? ABC 24, right? What did they help us to understand on here? It says Coffey set Johnson and Smith's trial date of March 11th, 2024 with a deadline of December 1st, 2023 for the legal teams to present any new evidence or agree to any plea deal before the trial. So by the 1st of December of last year, they would have had to present all this stuff. Are they going to take a plea deal? Okay. Now this is interesting because they continue to move the goal line. This could determine if Straight Drop or Cornelius Smith is working with the police. So this is what we got to keep an eye on because they have changed all of these dates since they removed Coffey. So if Cornelius Smith is working with the police, it's going to come out real soon. Because before they go to trial, all of this stuff has to be submitted to the courts. And the courts has to address this before they go to trial. So whoever Unc is, remember, Jamarcus Johnson has already pleaded guilty and said that Unc sent this money. I'm telling y'all that Unc is Hernandez Govan. It has to be. Because if it's anybody else, they would have had a percent and locked those people up by December 1st. And it didn't happen because they removed Judge Coffey, meaning that they're pretty much in the same place they was before they removed Judge Coffey. I'm just saying here. This is why they removed Judge Coffey. He was on their ass and basically saying, like, whatever y'all got to do, y'all got to get to it. Have it. Y'all need to have that by December 1st. And this is why they went through all of this stuff to get him removed off of the case. And now all of this stuff changed. And now that date that he had for March, guess what? It has changed, hasn't it? So all of this stuff changed because there's a new judge presiding over the case. This is crazy, Memphis. This is crazy. Ooh-wee. Kivia says they really want Gotti to get the prize, Jay-Z. Now, 414 said Feds calling his phone at the time of court and he had to take that call and leave. Right. You ain't even supposed to have your phone in court anyway. You all in court with your phone, you receiving phone calls, you got to leave. Come on, man. What phone calls could this guy be possibly receiving when Judge Coffey already said he's just on house arrest? He's supposed to be in the house 24 hours is what he's under right now until they change it. So what calls could he be possibly receiving? That's not coming from the court and not coming from the lawyer. That's that important when he had to leave court. Come on, man. Songs by Alicia. You crushing it. And what about the safety of Dolph's family? The guy's roaming around free. Exactly. If this guy is the mastermind and he the one that orchestrated the hit on Dolph, why would they let him out? What about Dolph family? What about the safety of them? Remember, he is the one responsible for setting up and soliciting the hit on young Dolph. So what's the saying that he won't put a hit on Mia J and execute that? What about their safety? It don't make any sense, family. Memphis police is playing games. And this, listen, family, this case is going to continue. They're going to continue to keep moving the goalposts. And it's just we're going to end up at the same spot at the end of the day. They don't have anything, man. Now, Melvin Clark says he was not locked up when Dolph was killed. He was at the murder scene. Okay. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about this because remember I showed y'all. They said that Hernandez Govan was locked up for assault, serving time. Now, what I want you guys to do, if you guys can pull that, send that information to me, man. They claim that he was locked up. Okay. He was locked up. Mm-mm. So anyway, fam, man. Dang. Man, y'all going in, man. I can't go through all these comments, man. Y'all going crazy on here, man. But listen, man, shout out to everybody checking in, man. But anyway, like I said, y'all share this, get this out to the people, right? Like I said, tomorrow's Monday. We need to be down there in the courts addressing this. You know what I'm saying? Why won't the DA revoke this man bond after he's countlessly violated? And we the people have the right to know, because it's the state versus Hernandez Govan. So more concerned citizens should be down there talking to Judge Jenny and Paul and holding their feet to the fire. Paul, why have you not filed any motion to revoke this man bond, and he has violated it numerous and countless of times? Why did you lie and say that he didn't talk about the case when he did talk about the case, Paul? Okay. Y'all lying and saying he didn't talk about the case when he clearly talked about that case. Okay. And if you're saying that Raven, the lady that spoke, is not part of the case where young Dolph was killed, I don't know what type of drugs y'all on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of drugs y'all on, right? Judge Jennifer tells us that the court is not supervising this dude, Hernandez Govan. Remember, is he taking drug screens? We don't know if he's doing it, because typically pretrial would do this, but he's not being supervised by pretrial. So who's watching him? Make it make sense. So at the end of the day, family, this is the live today. Make sure you guys are here tomorrow morning. We going in on the mastermind. We're going to keep the light on the mastermind. We would not allow him to sneak around and do all this underhanded stuff in the city of Memphis. We need to put the people on notice. I just put y'all on notice that this guy is riding through Memphis, working with them people, man. Straight like that. And if he ain't, tell him come back and do another interview and prove it. So with that being said, I'm signing off here on Israelite Talk TV. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. Shalom.